Hey everyone, welcome to Sims, Witches, and Warlocks. Today we have a exciting episode, but before we get into it, we have to touch on what happened in the last episode. So the last episode, Ambrose had finally had enough of Azrael and all her evil doings, so he challenged her to a duel. Winner takes all powers, and in addition to that, he found out that there was, and he won, so he got all her powers, but in addition to that, he found out that there is a ghost dog that's been running around his house, known as Captain Whittaker, I believe, Whittaker, Whitmare, or something like that. Hold on. Captain Whittaker, okay. And so we don't know how to get him back to normal because he was enchanted. So the only way to get him back to normal would be to buy a special enchantment treat. But in order to find out where they are, he has to talk to the dog's actual female owner, one of his former owners, which was the White Witch. But the only problem is nobody has seen the White Witch in years because she's kind of like dropped off the face of the earth because after her husband had passed away. So Ambrose here has been trying to search all he can to try and figure out where or what could happen. So he's talking to Fatia, and she's like telling him, well, the only thing I know about the White Witch is that her husband was very powerful, as she is as well, and that she pretty much asked him to fight for the wizarding world or the wizarding portal as you are, and he agreed. So, but in the process of that, he ended up running into someone that was very evil. I don't know who it is, but she ended up killing him, and you haven't seen the White Witch since. All I know is she used to live in the surrounding areas here, not actually far from here. I don't know if she still does or not, but they said that house, if you're lucky, you might be able to find her there, but we don't know, and we don't know what exactly happened to her, and we don't even know what house it is. So, it all depends on if they'll actually be able to find her there or not, but I think since, Newt was around longer than what she was here in the world, that he might know something more than the others do. So he's going to go ahead and ask him about that then once he's done using the restroom. But meanwhile, Jack, since you're more like the helper right now, you're not really doing anything either. Could you do a little bit of cleaning up, please? And so now she's like, oh, I also forgot to tell you that she is very powerful, so do not make her mad, Fatia said. But, Newt, he's calling Newt over because he wants to get Captain Whittaker very back because Whittaker pretty much is a very powerful dog, and he had many owners in the past, including a sailor who passed away, but he somehow survived, but then he was adopted by the White Witch and her family, only for him to then pass away. So he's like, the only thing I know is her former address, which used to be the house that's neighbor to us, but they said that she hasn't been back there in years. And if she is, it's kind of hit or miss. So Ambrose is like, do you think it'd be worth trying to go see? I mean, he's like, if you want to go see, you can see. Maybe she's there, maybe she's not. But all I can say is to be careful, because there's other dark forces that surrounds that place, And there's other dark forces that surrounds the White Witch because she was not the only child. So that's all I can tell you. So he's going to go ahead and travel and on over to the place that they're saying that she used to stay at, see if he can find any sort of thing that would indicate that she's there, and if she is, maybe he can get some word, maybe he can hear the whole story, maybe he can figure out where to get this enchantment treat from. He seems to have just catch this woman, and this is the White Witch. Thyra was her name, and so she's kind of like, yeah, on this, and she has a little one with her. We don't know the whole story yet, but he's gonna see if she'll actually talk to him, but she's kind of like left. And it seems as if she's actually might be willing to talk to him. So all this time, she's actually just been here, but she's kind of like keeping a low profile, so you can see that there's not very much in this house at all. So, he's gonna talk with her, and he's like, so, if you've been here all along, how comes nobody been able to find you? She's like, I haven't been wanting to be found, honestly, but I know who you are, and I know how powerful you are, and I just thought that it would be best for me to talk to you. And she's like, there's really some things that I need to tell you. And so I needed to get this off my chest because my story needs to be told. Because let's face it, I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger. I might look like I'm young, but I'm not. And even though we're magical, we can only reset the clock so many times without causing any friction in the world. And so she's like, I need to tell you what happened. So, years ago, probably before you were even born, she said there was a war to keep this, the magical realm open. And my husband, the White Warlock, and I just found out that we were actually pregnant with our child. And I figured it would probably be best for him to fight because he was more powerful than I am. And we didn't know, like he was able to keep the portal open. He was able to keep it alive, but there was a dark force that took his life in behalf. So the portal exists because of my husband's sacrifice, and I couldn't deal with that because after having our son, it was just really tough on me to deal with everything in the magical realm and all that. So I didn't really want to be focused upon as the mother of magic and the White Witch. So, and the dark person was very close to me as well. So it was kind of tough. And so I just want to say that dark person was my sister. She's very evil. And she's just been the person that you don't want to make angry. And my sister has pretty much ruled over the magical realm for a while now. She doesn't take any thing, and she just more so very powerful. Like, she's drained a lot of people of their powers because she's chosen to. So she's decided that day that when the magical realm was kept open, that she was upset about it. And so she wanted the magical realm to go down. So she tried to kill my husband, and she did. And so she was the one that took that from me. She was the one that took my world from me. And now she's pretty much taken my life force from me. Meaning that when I go, I go. Like, I can't reset the clock anymore. I can't do anything else anymore. The only thing I can do is try to pass as much knowledge as I can to my child. And so the reason why I needed you to talk with me in particularly, and the reason why I've chosen to tell you this instead of anybody else, is because I needed to ask you a favor, because there's nobody that I would trust more with my child than a Supreme. And being that you are the Supreme, my child is a warlock, a young warlock at that. He doesn't have his full capabilities yet, but he is a young warlock, and I need to make sure that he's looked after. So she's like, let's just come in here so my sister don't hear. I need you to, like, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I need you to possibly take him in. Like, should something happen to me, take him in and raise him. Make sure he follows the light path. Don't go into anything darkness and all that, and protect him from my sister, because ultimately she's the one that I'm worried about. And she said, in honor of that, she said, I will give you some knowledge, but she said, let's duel, because I think what's best way to do this would be to actually duel and make it seem like we're fighting, and then I can actually give you the spell through the magical powers that I use. So she said, what I'm asking you to do today possibly is to take my son in, raise him as well as you can, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to make it, and I don't want him to be next in line, because I know how my sister is. So I know exactly how she would be. And she would take it out on him. So these guys are portraying like they're dueling because they want her sister to feel like they're actually fighting and all that. And she taught him Chilio, which is kind of ironic because it's snow. But, so here is her son. She's like, his name is Caspian. And I know what you guys are thinking. This name did come from Narnia, and the White Witch did come from Narnia as well. But she was not, like, named from it or anything. So she's already prepped her son pretty much since she's seen Ambrose. She said it's time because she's probably already told her son about what was planning on going down. And so her son's already on board and he knows everything about the magical realm that's happened to his father and that's going on, and he agrees with his mom. He knows it's going to be tough. Like, he's going to definitely miss his mom, but she wants to do it for his own well-being, and that speaks volumes. I honestly think so. Like, if you think about it, like, it's kind of sad, like, she has to give up her child because of her sister threatening him and threatening her, but I think she's trying to do it to protect him, which is absolutely okay. So he's gonna kind of like spend a little bit of time with his mom here. And she's like, listen, I know this is gonna be tough, but you're very powerful and you're in good hands. I know you are. Ambrose is not gonna let anything happen to you. And I needed to make sure you were safe. Me and your father loved you, and we needed to make sure that you were okay, and we don't want her to get a hold of you, because that is going to harm us worse than anything else. So make sure you behave, do everything that you need to do, and listen to Ambrose and the others. So it's time for these guys to head back to the house and Ambrose to explain everything that happened to the gang. And also he's gotten the message. She's also given him a note with how to get the ambrosia treats. And she's like, they're very simple to get. She said, I've planted some at the pet hospital. And so I've put some there for wizards and witches like us that are looking for resurrecting someone. And just take care of my son, please, and take care of our dog. And I think that now that Captain is there, maybe it'd be good for Caspian to have him as his familiar, if that's what you agree with. So I think that Caspian has found his familiar when he gets a little bit older. In addition to that, Caspian has joined the family guys, and we have a young one to take care of. And I think Ambrose is going to be more like a father figure to him, which is really cute. And take that role of trying to mentor him in his magic, because his mom is getting older and her life force is ending soon because of her sister taking all her life force almost from her. Who knows what will happen with that whole storyline going further, but now I think we can resurrect Captain Whittaker as Caspian's familiar. So give me a second and I'll be back to do that. So Jack went and grabbed it for him. He told him where it was. And so these guys have been quickly getting acquainted with Caspian. And they're like trying to figure out where he's going to sleep. But in addition to that, I believe these guys are a couple. Let me see. No, they're just romantic interest right now. But I think maybe it's time for them to potentially get to know each other better and actually move on into the couple state of things. And I think Ambrose is desperate in order for them to do that. So he is going to go ahead and do the Fatuate spell again on them. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where he went. Okay, there he is. So now it's time to actually give him the vet treat. Give the Ambrosia treat. So, Captain Whittaker is back, guys. And I don't know if Caspian... I know he's magic right now, but I don't know if he can bind him as a familiar yet. Okay. But anyways, back to what I was doing with these two. So hang on a quick minute. Where did Jack go? Ah, he's right here, okay. I'm going to go ahead and get them eventually to ask to officially become boyfriend and girlfriend. Caspian just became friends with Captain Whittaker. That's good. She's got to ask him again if he's single. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her to end up sleeping with him. And then we're going to have to somehow figure out a way to get him a room. I might be able to build him a room. I could. Or maybe he could share a room right now with somebody. Probably have to be Newt, though, because Newt has a big room. They could try for a baby, so that definitely means that they should be able to be a couple. Where is asked to be? I mean, if they want to, I mean, they could try for a baby, so I might as well go ahead and give it a try. And then that obviously means that they're going to go into the next step of being a couple. Not exactly sure where they're going to get then, because I believe that there's someone sleeping in all the beds. But yeah, I think that they decided to kick Newt out. But there's definitely a woman sticking around down here. This is actually one of the stages, but she's the mischief stage. So we're going to have to dive more into that. And I think she might know a little bit more about Caspian. We'll have to see. But she just ruined a snowman, so. Yeah, I think she might be a little bit furious because she doesn't know where Caspian is. And they are officially boyfriend and girlfriend now. And they are going to go ahead and try for a baby just because I think they're going to be so excited that they're going to woohoo. And if something happens, something happens. Otherwise, it's not. I mean, if it happens, it happens. If not, then it don't. But anywho, Newt has decided now that it'd probably be best for Caspian to have somewhere to sleep. So he has decided that he's willing to potentially share his room temporarily until we can figure out a better solution. So for now, he's going to share a room with him. So I actually have a spare bed that I don't really use that would be potentially a good option for him. We might have to do a little bit of rearranging here. So give me a quick second. So it's kind of like squishy right now, but at least he has a bed for now. And just waiting for them to finish up, and then we will continue by ending this out. Newt and Caspian are now friends. Or Newt and Captain Whittaker, which is going to be Caspian's familiar once he gets a little bit older to actually get his magical skills. But Fatia, now that these guys are officially an item, she just wants to make sure that she is or isn't pregnant. So she's going to go ahead and do the pregnancy test. If it comes out negative, then it comes out negative. But if it comes out positive, then it comes out positive. Because I think she would be happy either way. Is there like no way? Why can't you go here? She's saying there's something in my... Hold on. Okay, there we go. It was the bookshelf thing that was here that was stopping her. I fixed it. So she is indeed pregnant, guys. So there's going to be another little witch or warlock. Potentially witch or warlock, because Jack is normal. He decided to give up his magical powers and not really gain them back. But Fatia does have some magical powers. but she just found out that she's pregnant. And, I mean, it could have been a really, really good thing. Who knows? I think Jack is still a little bit young, though, so you never know how things are going to go. But it's kind of ironic how things kind of go in this and all fused together. But I'm just going to leave it with that because I don't want to give anything else away. But with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all next week for another episode of Sims, Witches, and Warlocks, where we will announce who or what the baby is, whether it's a boy or a girl, and we will meet the baby. And in addition to that, the storyline with Caspian will continue and more. So you guys will not want to miss that. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Peace.